in 2022 May. Those flowers anymore. These trees are ready. And sure enough, by June, people were eating fruits from my trees. Now, by the time I was harvesting, there were already new fresh flowers on my crop. Now that meant therefore that if the moment I harvest the new crop, again the fresh flowers again on my trees, and that therefore means I would have it 3 times a year, unlike the story I had from the mountain of 1 time or 1.5 times a year. And that therefore is what explains these numbers. I know that we've been told 1,000 fruits, but I want to state to us here that in Kericho, people are harvesting, some of the farmers are getting 3,000 fruits per year. And Kericho is cold, our region basically is warmer, and so for us to be able to hit the 3,000 should not be a miracle. And so currently I'm having to think to myself that if we push ourselves a little harder, we could get out to the 2,000 mark per every tree per year. And so friends, when you have 2,000 fruits per year, and you then, it means therefore that in every acre, you end up having 300,000 fruits, which at 10 shillings each, you would then be getting 3 million shillings per annum, divided by 10 roughly, you would get about 300,000 shillings per month. How much do teachers get per month? Now, the majority of our population, of course, are teachers, and even those who work in Nairobi. If you have to think about somebody working and walking from Kawangware or walking from Kibra, going to that area to work and walking back into their homes, and at home they have an acre of land which they possibly lease out, right? At how much per annum in leasing out land? 10,000 shillings or something? People who plant. So that person sits out there 6,000 shillings a year leasing out land, and yet that land can earn that person 300,000 shillings. If in fact that farmer, that person converted that shamba to 300,000 shillings a month, would they live in Nairobi or live in the rural area? So we are looking at reverse migration, and that's really our determination. We believe that people have 1 acre, so there are 2 points and so forth, roughly 1 acre each. You may end up having, say, roughly 160,000 acres within the county. Now, let's say that we reach out to everybody within the county and only afford to persuade 20% only. We say everybody else doesn't need money. 20% say we have such thirst for money, we want to crop avocados. So let's assume we eventually persuade 20% of those to plant avocados. That means therefore that we eventually have 32,000 acres set aside for avocado. Now, what we looked at is a possibility that we want to put energy in the farmers to agree to be a part of a cooperative. Now, but people think differently. Not everybody want to be on the ship. And so I want to be most pessimistic and tell myself that only 30% of the people who finally plant avocados would be willing to join the cooperative movement, and therefore somehow being ready to sell the avocados possibly through our network. That means therefore that we possibly have around about 9,600 acres of land are cropped with avocado under the cooperatives which we have control over. Now, 9,600 acres, 150 trees per acre comes to about 1.4 million trees, and with 150 trees, 2,000 fruits per tree, you now have a big figure there of 2.8 million fruits, and also multiplied by 10, you're dealing with about 28 billion shillings into the county. Avocado. And we're saying, these are the numbers we're looking at to possibly duplicate in Kakamega, duplicate in the counties within the Mulembe Kingdom. Yeah, it's really the moment of those figures can't be hit home. We will see something. As a company, we are not in the rivalry anymore. We are simply a building farmers. And simply produce, we become a market in the county. We then found our interest in government in the area. We put up an agricultural process there. We then got interest in the behind. We put up another center there. And then now it is building out to Pusikoma and Mugalo, to Malaba, and to Moroni. We of course now Siaya, and there's a lot of interest in the crop of avocado. So what do we mean by an avocado processing center? Every avocado processing center has a nursery where we crop the seedling right within our villages. So we don't have to get it from anywhere. It is our young people within our villages who they crop that seedling. That means that seedling will acclimatize to that region done by very people. Previously, because we didn't have any the knowledge of topography of avocados, because avocado has not been tradition of this region, we were getting people coming in from the mountains and other places to help graft the seedlings. And the way we say, look, we have to meet the actual cost of training. So to really the trainers, the trainer people today, we actually have trainers at our centers. And so the grafting now being done by our very own people. We don't have enough science because the trees are still there. We don't have the trees here. So we have to go for the science. Science being the little stick of being the genetic matter that helps now convert the traditional avocado into the Hass avocado. And so this way, we are now having to actually nurture our own seedlings within our own very regions. So every avocado production center therefore has seedlings. Then we must crop it the right way. And so we then have demo farms. And we insist on farmers doing it right. Because we must keep the standards. We take responsibility for every seedling you buy, or anybody buys from our nurseries. Because if they were to follow our protocol, then means the only failure would be that our seedling was wrong. And so if in fact you were to follow our protocol and any seedling were to fail, it means therefore there's human error on my side and I will replace that seedling for free because you done it right. But we've had some farmers who just decide to do it the wrong way. But we insist to them, tell them, look, if you're going to do it the wrong way, you will suffer the consequences. My own orchard, where I did it right, I had 100% survival of the seedlings, all of them. It was only later that I had to replace some trees for whatever reason. But once you follow the protocol, proper protocol, you will get the results. And so this way, when you follow the protocol, sure enough, 2 years' time, you can start harvesting, and chances are that in 5 years' time, you'll hit the 1,000 mark. And the 7th year, you're likely to make the 2,000 mark going forward. And so, friends, we are here to tell us a story of what has now happened and succeeding to happen. And as we talk right now, the designers are already working, the engineers are working on design for the first ever avocado crude oil processor in VIHIGA County. And our idea being that when that happens at one center, every other center would then continue to have also processors. And so we will then be in charge of, at the end of the day, there is no fruit, no product that goes out of this region without value add. So it must be value added within our region, and therefore this way we then hold on our IP also. And so friends, at every avocado promotion also, then we have cooperatives. We have, of course, in Kaimosi, we have in Malaba, you talked about the Mumbo cooperative, which was again a cooperative we helped create. We have been able to have a cooperative in Moroni, and other regions. So somehow we are starting to see the energy of the people within the region to ensure that they work together, one person after another person. So friends, This is a real story of the avocado, and as a company, we are currently under pressure from our export partners because the market is demanding of avocados. We don't have enough avocados in the world. And I will tell you, even here, any lady here will tell you, I know the men don't know this, but the ladies use avocados for their hair. Here and now, right, ladies? And they use the avocados for their face. Men don't know this because men don't observe. Similarly, I'm in that category too. But the women do that. How much more when the avocado is refined and so forth? So when Muteshi speaks, and also my other brother talks about sponsorships of clubs, I tell myself, look, as this village produce, when you get 28 billion shillings coming into VIHIGA County, and we have 5 cooperatives that are doing this, we then find ourselves in a good position to engage with each cooperative and say, cooperative, 1% or 2% of what you earn has to go out into community and has to go out into sports and all that. So the agreements can now be crafted between CCV Produce and the summit, and CCV Produce and the cooperatives to ensure that some of this money finds its way to community development, because CCV Produce certainly is persuaded to be in community development. At every center where we are stationed, we then have borehole water, and as we speak now, CC Village Produce allows communities around each of the centers to take water out for free, because we believe that then we need to work together with the communities around all our avocado community centers. So we allow water to come out for free because we use solar. We get the water, we use solar, we have the water for our projects, but we have too much water because in this region we have lots of resources. And so this is the way I would want to talk about just the fact that avocado is really the way to go, right from the seedling side all the way to the market itself. Now friends, why avocado? There are 4 things I want to mention which are critical in giving us results. Number 1, stewardship. Friends, stewardship. Right now we are closing our windows because it's raining. There are parts of this country, and particularly Nyeri, you've seen Nyeri getting so much produce in avocados, where for a whole year they don't get rain, dropping rain, none at all, and yet they're cropping and planting avocados. Here, we have too much rain, so we think so. But we can harness this water and get the water to work for us in improving our avocados. And when you come to any of our demo farms, you'll see the ridges and how the ridges help deal and harness the stormwater, rainwater, and to eventually allow the water to find its way to the roots and continuously support the trees to grow. Rain, we have land, very good land. You know, our land really is very good soils, and we are just good to go. And I can tell you what, I've traveled around the mountain area. The people who work in the farms in Muranga, in Kiambu, and some of those places are from this region. And I can tell you what, some of them are there, they went there as young boys, they married, they became parents, their own children were born there, they just live there as home. And so friends, in terms of the human resource, we have it. I will put up this just for a moment until it is sorted out. And so, we have the human resource, stewardship. And what we have to do is to be good stewards. I can tell you what, right now, if I make a phone call to any of my people on the stations, and I can do that in our presence, they will be saying today is a Saturday at 5 o'clock or something like that, and they'll be out in the farms because they are dealing with the farmers who run through. Because of just getting to work with the people, getting them to be happy with what they do, get them to believe in themselves. And somehow we are finding the human resource is extremely an available resource. And so when you think about stewardship, friends, this is something that is God-given. It is for us to take it. The level of water in even the subspectrum is so near. Virtually everywhere I've gone to within the region, I have not gone beyond 100 meters to get water. And the amount of water I get is so much water, just 100 meters deep. And yet in other places you have to go 200, 300 meters before you can ever hit water. And so we have sufficient resources in our region to be able to get the numbers. And then we have some land. I mean, talk about what and some of us here have talked about what they're getting from other products. And I can tell you, the avocado is a form of tree you plant, and it simply grows for 50 to 70 years. Do you have to replant it again?